Welcome to this class, Introduction to DEXassist Solution, 2D AI Findings in DEXIS 10. This beginning level, recorded class is designed for clinical team members and provides instructions for using DEXassist Solution, which incorporates 2D AI features from DTX Studio Clinic into DEXIS Imaging Suite software. By the end of this class, you should be able to describe the capabilities of DEXassist Solution. Identify the functions and features of DEXassist Solution. Identify the menu preferences and display settings. Identify the image tools. List the steps to export images with AI findings for insurance billing. And list the steps to create reports and letters with AI findings using DEXwrite. Let's get started. We'll start this course by looking at the capabilities of DEXassist Solution with 2D Findings, which is powered by assisted intelligence. DEXassist Solution incorporates AI features from DTX Studio Clinic into DEXIS Imaging Suite software. DEXassist Solution seamlessly integrates in your existing DEXIS software and is compatible with DEXIS branded intraoral sensors. DEXassist Solution will automatically populate as soon as you have completed your X-ray series. DTX Studio AI SDK is a computer-assisted detection device that analyzes intraoral radiographs to identify and localize dental findings. So what is SDK? A software development kit, SDK, is a collection of software development tools in one installable package. They facilitate the creation of applications by having a compiler, debugger, and sometimes a software framework. Now, let's look at what a computer-assisted detection device is. CADE is an acronym for Computer-Assisted Detection Devices applied to radiology images and radiology device data, including those marketed as a complete package with a review workstation, or as an add-on software embedded within imaging equipment, as an image review platform, or other imaging accessory equipment. Now, let's explore the capabilities of DEXassist Solution. DEXassist Solution offers up to 6 FDA-cleared focus areas for patients 15 years and older. It's designed to assist with diagnostic confidence, efficiency, and productivity. The simple, direct integration in DEXIS Imaging Suite allows the use of AI dental findings in your existing 2D DEXray workflow without opening any additional applications or screens. Therefore, there's no learning curve. DEXassist Solution delivers instant detection of focus areas for newly acquired images and historical images for comparison of results over time. DEXassist Solution also allows practitioners to share AI findings with patients in an easy-to-understand format when discussing their diagnosis and treatment plan. DEXassist Solution offers easy installation and onboarding, with no additional IT requirements or hardware upgrades needed, and is compatible with DEXIS Titanium, DEXIS IXS, DEXIS TI2, DEXIS Platinum, and GXS 700 sensors, and DEXIS Imaging Suite software version 10.4 or later. DEXassist Solution enables users to identify up to 6 different dental findings. Each finding is highlighted in a different color to help you quickly distinguish one from another. Let's see how the focus areas will appear. Calculus, caries, bone loss, apical lesion, marginal defect, and root canal defect. In addition to the 6 focus areas, DEXassist Solution also offers 2 additional focus areas for image artifacts: overlap and PSP. Now that we've described the capabilities of DEXassist Solution, let's move on to the next section in this course. Now that we've described the capabilities, let's identify the features and functions of DEXassist Solution. To begin, launch the DEXIS Imaging Suite software. Select the patient. and click the DEXray icon. The patient selected will open in DEXIS Imaging Suite. DEXassist Solution works with historical images, using your existing preferences to process the active images. Historical image processing is done when a patient record is open in DEXIS 10 or DEXIS Imaging Suite. Detection findings are shown directly on the thumbnail images to highlight specific findings and/or image artifacts. Each finding is highlighted in a different color to help you quickly distinguish one finding from another. Opening an image allows further interaction with the findings. To open or enlarge an image, double-click the image or press the Enter key. Using the mouse, hover over a detected area to identify a finding. Now that we've covered the features and functions of DEXassist Solution, let's move on to the next section. Now, let's identify the menu preferences and display settings. On the DEXassist Solution menu, you can control the visibility of each finding with the corresponding checkbox. DEXassist Solution is customizable, depending on your preferences. Let's say we just want to see caries and apical lesions. We will simply deselect the other findings we don't wish to see at the moment. This will make case presentations more focused for you and your patient. Before we deselect bone loss, notice the purple binding boxes around the findings. Now that bone loss has been deselected, notice the binding boxes are no longer visible. Detection findings are now shown directly on the thumbnail images to highlight specific findings and/or image artifacts. To add back the findings, simply reselect the corresponding checkboxes on the DEXassist Solution menu. If a clinician doesn't want to use AI, deselect Show All, so that radiographs default with no AI findings displayed. For this course, we'll reselect Show All. Now, let's look at the display settings. To change how the focus areas are displayed, click the Options menu, next to DEXIS AI. And then click the Display Settings tab. Earlier, we learned DEXassist Solution displays up to 6 different dental findings and 2 additional findings for image artifacts. In the display settings, we'll see 2 options for each finding that can be customized for each one: Default and Hover. You can customize how each finding is displayed on the X-ray with Draw Bounding Box, Draw Shape, and Fill Shape. You can also customize the display settings for when you hover over a focus area with the same options. When your software is installed, Draw Bounding Box is checked by default for all findings. In this example, we'll focus on the apical lesions. The Draw Bounding Box is selected by default, and it creates an outline around the focus areas, as seen on this image. Deselecting it removes the outlines. Let's continue looking at the default settings. Now, let's show Draw Shape. Draw Shape will draw an outline around the focus area. Next, let's show Fill Shape. Fill Shape will fill the focus area. Let's clear all the default settings before we move on to the hover settings. We'll open default settings again. Again, hover has the same three options as default: draw bounding box, draw shape, and fill shape. Let's look at each one now. We already know that draw bounding box for all findings is enabled by default, as we can see here. Let's see what that looks like again. Now, let's look at draw shape for hover. Now, let's look at fill shape for hover. Next, let's look at the display settings for root canal defect. Again, each of the findings has two sections that can be configured: default and hover. We'll see what hover looks like for root canal defect. But first, let's remove default, draw bounding box, so we can see this example more clearly. Let's open display settings again. We see draw bounding box is checked by default. Let's see what that looks like when we hover our mouse over the finding. Now, let's add draw shape. Here we see both draw bounding box and draw shape. Let's add fill shape. Now, hovering over the focus area will display all three options. Display settings allows practitioners to share AI findings with patients in an easy-to-understand format when discussing their diagnosis and treatment plan. And the patient can visualize the focus areas and better understand the treatment needed. Once you have selected your preferences for display settings, you can enlarge or hide the side menu by dragging the edge of the panel. Click the arrow to return the menu panel. In the event you disagree with a finding or no longer wish to see it, you can use the archive feature. Let's see what that looks like now. For this example, we'll select the lower anterior PA. We'll start by hovering over the finding. To archive the finding, simply click your center mouse button while you're hovered over the finding. Notice the bounding box and tooltip turns from purple to gray. If your mouse doesn't have a center button, hold down Ctrl on your keyboard and left-click. Note that archived findings will be shown but grayed out, so they're still identifiable. To bring the finding back, simply repeat the steps. In the DEXassist Solution menu, you can choose to either show or hide all archived findings. Now, let's move on to the next section in this course. Now, let's identify the image tools. We'll start this section of the course by looking at the Clean button. Let's open the lower anterior PA. To quickly hide all AI findings for the selected X-ray, click the Clean button. To return the AI findings, click the Clean button again. Now, let's look at the Compare function. When you open or enlarge an image, the navigator panel opens in the upper right corner. Click the Compare button to open the X-ray comparison box. The Compare menu is displayed. Click the drop-down arrow to select a different image to compare. For this example, we'll select an image of the same area. Here, both images are displayed side by side, so you can compare focus areas for any changes. To remove the background images, click the Clean button in the Navigator panel and select it again to bring the images back. Now, let's look at ClearVu. To clarify and sharpen the images, click the Add ClearVu icon. Click the icon again to remove ClearVu. Now, let's move on to the next section, exporting images for insurance billing. Next, let's look at how to export images with AI findings for insurance billing. Let's select an image with AI findings to export for insurance billing. We'll start by clicking the export icon. You can also press the forward arrow on your keyboard or drag the image to the export icon to open the export images screen. To begin, set a location where you'd like to export your images by using the Browse button or one of the predefined location buttons. For this example, we'll use the desktop. Next, select the images you'd like to export. To do this, use Select All or set a date, and then manually select the images below. We see number 28 to 31 is already selected for us. Here, we see different image file formats, which are generally accepted by word processing and graphics software programs. Let's select JPEG for our export. To add the AI focus areas, select Include Drawings and Implants. Finally, click Export Images to finish. When we navigate to our desktop, we'll see the exported image. And we see the AI findings are included on the image. Now, let's move on to the next section in this course. In our last section in this course, let's look at how to create reports and letters with AI findings using DEXwrite. DEXwrite enables you to create reports, letters, and other types of documents directly from DEXIS Imaging Suite. Items such as patient, practice, and provider data merge into letters and reports automatically. Click the DEXwrite icon to begin. Each time DEXwrite is open, the patient information displays at the top of the screen, and the default report is selected. Click the drop-down arrow to scroll through the report library to find the reports with AI findings. For our example, we'll select Insurance Report plus AI Findings. The first window we see is Recipient Selection. Here, you'll see any insurance companies and referring doctors you've previously entered. Click Delta Dental and click Select. We see the insurance and patient information has been populated into the letter. Next, we'll select our image or images to include in the letter by using the Select Series drop-down arrow. Now, double-click or click and drag the images you wish to insert into the letter. To move all the images from the report back to the image selection window, click the Clear All button. Note, if you only want to move an individual image back, drag it from the report to the image selection window. For our example, we'll add back our images. Every report contains frames for images and text. To launch the Frame Properties window, double-right-click the image. Here, you can select or deselect your preferred AI findings to include in your letter. The findings you select will display below your images. Notice, in the right side of the DEXwrite window, there's a collection of function buttons available for further building your report. Let's go ahead and email this letter. We'll click the email button. Your email program will load with the letter attached as a PDF. Let's double-click to open the letter now. If you're satisfied with your letter, close the document reader. Enter the email address and click Send. To learn more about DEXwrite, refer to the DEXIS Imaging Suite manual. Now, you should be able to describe the capabilities of DEXassist Solution. Identify the functions and features of DEXassist Solution. Identify the menu preferences and display settings. Identify the image tools. List the steps to export images with AI findings for insurance billing. And list the steps to create reports and letters with AI findings using DEXwrite. Congratulations! You have completed this course. If you have any comments or questions, please contact us at training@dexis.com.